Hey folks, Charlie Westeros here, back with another Game of Thrones and A Song of Ice and Fire themed video. Today I will be presenting 5 crazy facts about House Mormont from both the books and the TV series that you just might not know about. If you were hoping for a video focused on Season 7, I will be putting out either a review of the final episode or predictions for Season 8, or perhaps both depending on my time. But for now, let's get this video going, starting with Number 1, the Egalitarian Society of Bear Island. Though officially part of the North, Bear Island and its people under the leadership of House Mormont is a little bit distinct from the rest of the region. As an island, much of its relatively poor population lives along the coasts and rely on fishing to sustain themselves. Because of this, however, the population was and still is vulnerable to raids from both the Ironborn to the southwest and the Free Folk from farther north. Because these raids were often undertaken while the men were out fishing, defense of the island was often left to the women of Bear Island. This effectively created a warrior culture among the women of this place, giving them an equal footing amongst men in all things concerning battle and warfare. As such, it should come as no surprise that Lyanna Mormont is a little badass through and through, just like her mother, who made a very brief appearance way back in Season 1 of Game of Thrones when Robb Stark was declared king in the North. Number 2, the Mormonts, a husbandless house of skin changers? This point is primarily applicable to the books, but it is still relevant to those of you who only watch the show. As many of you know, House Mormont is one of the poorer northern houses, but this doesn't make it any less of an interesting one. On the gate of the earthen palisade surrounding their wooden hall is an especially unique carving, that of a woman in a bear skin with a child in one arm suckling at her breast and a battle axe in the other. As mentioned, this is an indication of House Mormont's women being battle-readied warriors. However, it also indicates another point. In the books, although Mage Mormont is Lyanna's mother, no one is certain as to who her father is, or even if she is married for that matter. There are even rumors circulating that Mage Mormont beds with a bear, a rumor that is sort of reappropriated by Tormund in the show. Her book-only daughter in Alysanne also seems to share the rumor, claiming that Mormont women are in fact skin changers who turn into bears and find mates in the woods. Despite these rumors and the lack of confirmed spouses for the known female Mormonts, it would appear that all of their children, including Lyanna Mormont, are considered to be fully legitimate. Another circulated possibility is that Mage's husband is either a commoner or of lower nobility, and as a result has simply retained her birth family's surname instead. Personally, however, I think the Mormonts as bear-type skin changers is much more fascinating. Number 3, a complex family from books to show. Can you believe that this man and this girl are in fact first cousins? Despite the evident age gap between them, Lyanna Mormont and Ser Jorah are indeed cousins in both the show and the books. You see, Lyanna's mother in Mage Mormont is the younger sister of Jeor Mormont, the father of Ser Jorah. When Jorah was caught selling poachers to a slaver and fled into exile, his aunt Mage was forced into power over Bear Island. Though Jorah is shown to be a relatively old man, and his sister isn't a spring chicken either, she was still able to have a young daughter in Lyanna, whereas in the books, the Lady of Bear Island in fact has 5 daughters and 2 grandchildren. In the show, Mage Mormont is said to have been killed at the Red Wedding, explaining how her young daughter in Lyanna is now the Lady of Bear Island. In the books, however, the she-bear, as Mage is aptly nicknamed, is still alive and well. Her eldest daughter, Daisy, meanwhile, was the Mormont who perished at the hands of the Freys. Number 4, Mormont versus Mormont. This point, although insignificant, is still one that merits some discussion for both the show and the books. Given Jorah's exile, his aunt or cousin, depending on the medium, has inherited Bear Island. However, Daenerys made one thing clear in the books from the following excerpt. Quote, she had heard the longing in Ser Jorah's voice when he spoke of Bear Island. He can never have me, but one day I can give him back his home and honor. Although innocent on the surface, the implication of Jorah returning home and pardoned by a Queen Daenerys could potentially complicate the leadership of Bear Island. Would he seek to reclaim his title? Would the people of Bear Island accept him as a leader or even his presence in light of his past transgressions? Would Lyanna or Mage Mormont step aside for him, or does Jorah even desire to rule as Lord of Bear Island? These are all significant questions, the answers of which could drastically affect both his family and the people of the Mormont homeland. Number 5, Ser Jorah's estranged wife. An important chess piece? Lanessa Hightower, a name relatively familiar to book readers, but perhaps not so much for only show watchers. She is the woman that Jorah lost almost everything for, and yet is equally in part responsible for his meeting with Daenerys Targaryen. Dissatisfied by her husband's incapability to grant her the lavish lifestyle she so craved when they got married, Lanessa left Jorah in lease, moving into the manse of a merchant prince, Tregar or Mollin, and became his chief concubine. It is claimed that even the prince's wife goes in fear of her, indicating that Lanessa has a significant amount of power over Tregar, and, given that he is likely a leading figure of the Free City of Lys, she could certainly play a key role in swaying the city to either fight with or against Daenerys Targaryen, particularly in the books where her backstory is of much greater significance than in the show. Well, folks, those were just 5 facts about House Mormont you just might not know about. Admittedly, this is one house that was a little harder to fill with information, but this certainly doesn't reduce the Mormont's significance in the series. So, are there any other facts you think I should have included in this video? Please let me know in the comments section below. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.